And good morning, sports fans, and welcome to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. Back in the saddle again, back on the Coach's Corner, Soundgarden Stage for another Karl DeMasi Sports Report, because it's all part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network. Happy Thanksgiving. Last weekend was the best of. I hope you watched some of those interviews with those great kids that have won the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week, but I'm back here in person. Saturday morning, December 30th. Saturday morning, December 3rd. I don't want to rush it. Saturday morning, December 3rd, 2022. Big day in sports. We got the USA Netherlands going on right now inside Coach's Corner. You want to come on down and watch it. They're inside watching it. I'm out here in the Soundgarden. Like I said, whether it's 100 degrees, whether it's 30 degrees, I'll be on the stage no matter what. I gotta appreciate this morning. It's 60 degrees. The sun's shining in my face here in beautiful Savannah, Georgia. So I'm just having a good time. Hey, I got a great show lined up for you. I'm trying something different today. First segment, I'm going to go over whatever I can in the first 10 minutes of local sports, high school sports. The second quarter, I'm going to go over the college sports and the professional sports in the area. Then we'll finally get to our first guest about 9:30 with Stephen Elmo Weeks with his 5 college picks for the day and talking a little Georgia Bulldog football. They take on LSU, 4 o'clock, right here at Coach's Corner. Come on in, check it out. It's going to be unbelievable. LSU, Georgia Bulldogs, 17-point favorites. We'll get the prognosticators' picks on Georgia LSU. And then at about 9:45, we'll have the man that does his show every morning about, I think it is 10 o'clock, morning break show with Tim Geider from WTOC. He'll be talking a little Braves baseball. That's right. He's a baseball fanatic. And, of course, Georgia Bulldog football. He's up at the Mercedes-Benz Stadium for the SEC Championship game with the WTOC crew, so we'll get a little insight from him. It is pre-recorded because he's driving up to Atlanta right now. And then the last segment, special Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete of the Week coming in from Georgia Tech. That's right. He was a Benedictine Cadet. He was the Ashley Deering Award, just like his brother. And we're going to talk to the man himself. He's a sophomore now on Georgia Tech's football team. We'll talk about the new coach, him being the starting place kicker, field goal kicker, and that's Gavin Stewart. So that'll be about 10 o'clock. So, like I said, we got a great lineup. Tune in. And if you have a comment, please put it in the comment box. And the producer behind the scene, always got to say good morning to Lawrence Bennett. The man tells me what's going on. If I don't have my mic on, if it's too dark, or if the back screen goes off, because for some reason, I'm not computer literate. I can't get the display to stop timing out. I've tried everything. So if you got any help for me, I got an HP laptop. How do I get the computer from stop going to sleep? Let me know. And here's another good follower, always following the show. Love to see this guy here every morning chiming in. Good morning, Coach DeMasi. I'm here like always. I like your show. I miss you. You make my day. Go USA in soccer. You got it. USA. USA. It's on the TV right now here at Coach's Corner. Come in and watch. And Dennis, as always, you have a wonderful day too. I know we're a little heartbroken. Our Cavaliers didn't make it in. I agree with you. I mean, it was a tough game last week. We'll talk about that in a couple of seconds. So if you got a comment, post it. Let me know. I'd love to get it on. All right, just doing my little chores here. Okay, why won't you give me? All right, I'm a one-man show here, so I'm trying to figure out stuff here. So trying to make sure everything's running right on all the Facebook pages, on Twitter, on YouTube Live. Yes, that's right. We're on Facebook at the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, at Coach's Corner Facebook page, the Prep Sports Report. We're on Twitter at KD Sports, and we're at YouTube on the Karl DeMasi Sports Report YouTube channel. All right, so we got about 7 minutes. Let's talk a little bit about high school football. That's right. We know basketball now is in full swing, but there is one team left. They're defending their state title. The Benedictine Cadets are going back to the ship. Check out the article on the Prep Sports Report written by Travis Jadon for the Prep Sports Report. That's my other love, okay? I started that way back when, so check it out. Great article by Travis Jadon. But, what more can I tell you? Danny Britt, 12 years, 6 years, in the semifinals, 3 state titles, going for his 4th. Pretty impressive. The guys got it rolling over there. They take care of Troup County 42-21. It was 35-0 at halftime. Okay, Fourth quarter, it was running clock. Troup County did score late to make it twice in the fourth quarter. But you know what? It's just all BC. BC went up 42-7. That's why we had a running clock in the fourth quarter. That's the mercy rule here in Georgia. When a team gets up 30 points at halftime, the losing coach who's behind 30 has the option of running the clock. But, of course, in the playoffs, coach is not going to do that. But it automatically goes to a running clock in the fourth quarter. So they'll take on Cedartown up there at Center Park Stadium, the old Ted Turner Field. If you have never been there, it's awesome. They've turned a baseball field, a baseball stadium into a football stadium. It's unbelievable. BC Cadet fans, you got to get up there. If I didn't have to play a basketball game, I wish I could still play a basketball game. If I didn't have to coach a basketball game, I'd be going up there to watch the Cadets win another state championship. I'm pretty confident. If you check it out every Thursday, the coach and Travis Don do our Red Sports Report Pigskin playoff preview. So we'll break down this week's game when they take on Cedartown. It's going to be really exciting. The defense, BC's defense is off the chain. I mean, Galen Houston and Coach Britt and that whole coaching staff, the offense with A.J. DePhillips, all local boys, they're just doing a great job over there. And Caleb Collins is over there now. And, of course, you got Pat Parker, the man that played at Georgia Southern. He's a big part of it. And I wish I could name the whole coaching staff off the top of my head, but pretty hard to do. So we'll see what happens next Saturday at 3:30 at Center Park Stadium in the ATL. It's where Georgia State University plays. All right. Flag football, heartbreaker. Calvary lost 6-0. Broken play to make it to the semifinals. It was the Elite Eight. They lose 6-0. After the Pace Academy scores the touchdown, Calvary gives up 2 first downs the rest of the game. They just couldn't put the ball in the end zone. And on the other side here at Memorial Stadium at 4:30 on Thursday, St. Vincent's lost a heartbreaker. They're winning 6-0, 10 seconds to go in the game. 10 seconds to go in the game. I'm trying to remember now. I got a blank who they played. Hold on. Oh, Harris County. And Harris County scores a touchdown. Then there's a controversial play for the extra point. Harris County scores. So the game ends with, of course, St. Vincent's going down 7-6. All right, so that was flag football. It's over. Southeast Bullock is still going strong. They haven't lost in 2 years. They'll be playing at Flowery Branch Sports Complex. It's the Atlanta Braves. Whatever you call it, the Atlanta Braves practice complex. So that's where they'll be out. So check it out. Southeast Bullock is the defending state champion in 1-4A. So they made it to the semifinals. All right, basketball. Well, rankings. Benedictine, no respect. They're still, I think they should move up to 2. But before they went into the playoff game last night, they were 4. They're taking on Cedartown, who's been number 1 all year long. All right, basketball. Got a lot of hoops going on. All right, let's go to the scoreboard. Whatever I can get off of Max Preps. That's another thing, people. If you can, please text me your basketball scores. Okay, 912-507-9158. Please. I'd love to have you. Okay, so give me a text. Let me know what your team did last night. In boys basketball, Jenkins beats Islands 56-41. Savannah Country Day beats Liberty County 47-35. Woodville Tompkins takes care of Claxton 78-43. And Groves gets their first win of the year. They beat Long County 63-61. On the girls' side, Savannah Country Day 52, Liberty County 29. St. Andrews beats Savannah Christian 35-34. Islands beats Jenkins 40-25. Liberty County all over Groves 86-22. Woodville Tompkins girls, they beat Claxton's girls. I don't have the exact score, but I know they won. Richmond Hill girls 56, Effingham County 15. And Bryan County beat Savannah High 53-30. I don't have the boys' scores for most of the games. If you have a score, text it to me, 912-507-9158. Love to get it on there. But that's the boys' scores. As far as boys and girls rankings, okay, in the boys, AAA, Johnson, Chucky Campbell, and the Johnson boys, Antonio Baker. They're ranked number 1 in the rankings in 3A. Beach is number 3 at 5-0. Okay, in Class A, Division I, Woodville Tompkins is ranked 9th. On the girls' side, South Effingham, Alexis Parker, Calvary Day School standout. Prairie View A&M standout. South Effingham 5-0. They ranked 10th in 6A. In 3A, Calvary is 1-1. In A Division I, Woodville Tompkins is 5. Bryan County is 9. Okay, so that's wrapping up with the high schools. We'll come back in about 3 minutes with the rest of the sports that I got to talk about, because I can't cover it all in 12 or 10 minutes. So I got to come back and do it again. So I'm trying a new format. Hey, if you got an idea for a format, give me a comment. That's right there in the comment box. As you see, we've already had Lawrence Bennett say good morning. We already had Dennis Kessler say good morning. Give me a comment. Let me know what you think. Once again, you're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report live on the Soundgarden Stage right here at Coach's Corner inside USA, the Sweet 16. You lose, you're out. So it's in the World Cup. Check it out. Come on, Coach's Corner. The doors are open 2 hours early. Don't forget, 4 o'clock, Bulldogs, SEG champions again. My man John Henderson walking around with his championship T-shirt. Braves on one side, Georgia on the other side. You got to love it. Be back in 3 minutes. Got to thank my sponsors. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV, because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991, is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. Come get equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room, if you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, quarter number 2. Starting just to talk now about our college sports in the area, and then professional sports. I already covered the high school sports. Once again, I just got a flash note from the man himself. Next Saturday, 12 noon, pregame lunch party. The man himself, the sports reporter, works for Connect Savannah, works for the Prep Sports Report, and he's part of the Coach's Corner Sports Network with his Hot Grits podcast. Okay, Travis Donald will be doing a pregame show right here, 12 o'clock noon, and at 3:30 on the big screen, all over the gazillion TVs out of here at Coach's Corner, you can watch Benedictine playing for another state championship back-to-back against Cedartown. And Cedartown's been ranked #1 all year long. Benedictine has been fluctuating between 4 and 6, but I'm telling you right now, this team is hot. I know this side of my face doesn't have a shield, so I know it's very bright. Feels good. It's 55 degrees out here. I got the sun, got my Georgia shirt on, got my jacket on, still got shorts on. Never take those shorts off. So once again, you'll have a pregame state championship football party here at Coach's next Saturday, 12 o'clock. With he's going to be here Friday for lunch, and then on Saturday they'll have the game here. So once again, check it out Friday. All right, so Lawrence, if I don't have that information correct, please send me a little note in my little comments bin, and I'll correct it. But I just found out from the big guy, John Henderson, the owner, the operator, the master of what's going on here at Coach's Corner. All right, so we talked high school sports, Benedictine going back to the championship. Basketball's in full swing. Go to Max Preps. Find out where your teams are playing today. I just didn't have time to do it, late night. Had to coach a basketball game. Then I went over to BC game, and then I had to put this together. So check it out what's going on today in basketball. All right, let's go to the college sports. We have colleges in the area, and the two local ones, of course, is Savannah State and, of course, SCAD, Savannah College of Art and Design. Savannah State basketball season off. Great job last year in the SEAC. Men's basketball team is off to a 3-2 start. 1-1 in SEAC. Tuesday night, they beat Flagler University, Flagler College down there in Florida, 94-83. Elite Bowles, former Adam Smashers standout basketball player, went the JUCO route. Now he's over there playing with Coach Horace Broadnex and the Tigers. Went off for 40 points the other night. 16 for 20 shooting, and that's with 3-pointers. Okay? 16 for 20. The kid only missed 4 shots. All right? Well, today, the Tigers are at Clayton State at 2 p.m. All right? On the ladies' side, they're off to an undefeated season again. Last year, they were off the chain. All right? They're off to a 4-0 start, 2-0 in the SEAC. Monday, they beat SEAC foe Central State University 89-72. Today, they're home. Non-conference game. They're playing Anderson State. It's Kids Day, and it starts at 2 p.m. at there. Coach Baker doing a great job over there with the Lady Tigers. Check it out. All right, SCAD. All right, what's happening at SCAD? A lot happens at SCAD, and believe it or not, people, there are sports at SCAD. Okay, this weekend, SCAD is hosting the SCAD Invitational. The women right now, after day 2, are in fourth place. The guys, the men's teams, in third place. Today's day 3. Chatham County Aquatic Center starts at, I think, 10 o'clock. So check it out. And I got to blow this up. The equestrian team. That's right. Jumping over fences, barrels, water. I mean, one of the best equestrian teams in the United States. The Savannah College of Art and Design's equestrian team. Yes, they have it. You go over the bridge. You'll see the stables. You'll see where they practice, where they hold their events, right there next to the soccer field. All right. So they're at the Holiday Tournament of Champions, hosted by Virginia Tech. So they're in Blacksburg, Virginia, and it's happening all day today. Okay. Sorry. Take that back. It's happening all day tomorrow, December 3rd. Well, no, it's today. Today's December 3rd. Come on, Coach. Wake up. I know you had 2 weeks off. All right. So today, December 3rd, SCAD's equestrian team, nationally ranked, okay, at the Holiday Tournament Champions at Virginia Tech, which is in Blacksburg, Virginia. All right, college football, Georgia 12-0, ran the table again in the SEC 8-0, 17-point favorites over LSU. LSU comes in at 9-3, 6-2. They won the other division. So 4 p.m. We'll get the breakdown, of course, with Stephen Elmo Weeks and, of course, Tim Guidera. Georgia Tech season's over. They finished 5-7, 4-4 in ACC play. And hold it, I just got a little note here. I got to check. Okay, everybody's on cue. I got all right. Yeah, I'm a one-man show here. So, Georgia Tech going 4-4 in ACC. We all thought that, they were going to do a national search. Of course, interim coach Brent Key, former Georgia Tech football player, letter winner. He was named the 21st Tech football coach, head football coach. You got to love it. Be loyal to the guys that are loyal to your school. What can you say? He's a yellow jacket. Okay? Did a great job. We'll get a little insight of what Brent K is like because we'll be talking to the man himself, Gavin Stewart from BC, who's the place kicker, field goal kicker. Like I said, things, I got to keep track of things going on here. So once again, another TV timeout for the coach. I know. Rubbin' and Grubbin', which is one of our 5 shows. Lawrence Betts, producer. Maybe I got to pay Lawrence to come up here on Saturday mornings to help me out so I don't have to do 20 things at once. But once again, of course, the screen. I've asked you again, make a comment in the comment box. All right? If you know how to cut off the sleep mode on my laptop, it's the HP laptop, let me know because I've tried everything. And it keeps on cutting off after about 10 minutes. And, I'm in the middle of the show and my backdrop cuts off. You got to love it. It's live internet show, live radio, live whatever. You got to love it. All right, where was I? All right, so Brent Key is the new coach, 21st head football coach at Georgia Tech. Georgia State finishes 4-8 in the Sun Belt, 4-8 overall, 3-5 in the Sun Belt. They beat Georgia Southern, but Georgia Southern pulls it out last week and does a number on Appalachian State in overtime to make they're bowl eligible. Now, Georgia State has Georgia Southern's number. I don't know why, but it was a great game to watch. I mean, I couldn't ask for anything more. Overtime. I mean, I feel bad for these kids because I had 2 sons that played college sports, and especially watching my sons and if their team failed or they feel it's kind of heartbreaking. I felt bad for the Appalachian State kid that missed the field goal that would have put him up and it wouldn't have gone into overtime. I mean, but, that's what happens. That's what happens, and you feel bad for him, but Georgia Southern's bowl eligible. Coach Helton over there doing a good job. All right, professional sports. All right, Hawks 13-10, 3rd in the Eastern Conference, 1st in the Southeast. Last night, they do a number on the Nuggets, the Denver Nuggets, 117-109. DeJounte Murray, this kid is good. Him and Trae Young, I mean, unbelievable backcourt. Scores 34 points. Trae Young injured, so he didn't get a chance to play last night. Monday night, they take on OKC. All right, so then we go to football. The Atlanta Falcons. The Atlanta Falcons. They're in the games, but you got 2nd and goal from the 4-yard line. What are you throwing the ball for? You ran all over them last weekend, people. They should have beat the Washington Commanders. They wound up losing 19-13. Well, they'll take their stick again in the Mercedes-Benz Stadium tomorrow at 1 p.m. against the Pittsburgh Steelers. All right, quickly, let me get us PGA Golf. Brian Harman is off. He's ranked. He's in the top 5 in the FedEx Cup. He's in the top 25 in the world. I think he's 24. He's won. He hasn't won, but he's got back-to-back second-place finishes. At the RSM Classic, he finished 2nd at 17 under. All right, great job. Gene Sowers is off for a couple of weeks. He finished 33 overall in the PGA Championship Tour. Remember, Savannah Ghost Pirates, they're in the South Division. They're in 5th place now. They're 8-5-3. They lost last night 4-0. They play tonight in Charleston against the South Carolina Stingrays, who are 10-4-1. They're in 2nd place. Don't forget, if you're going by the bridge, today's the Savannah Bridge Run. All right, let me thank my sponsors because we got to do a little college football picks. The man in the last 2 weeks is 5-5. He's still over 500. He's 25-20 this year. Doing a heck of a job picking teams. He's going to give us his 5 picks this week. Of course, he's got to talk about Georgia against LSU. So I can't wait to hear. We'll be back in 3 minutes with the man himself, Stephen, the prognosticator, Elmo Weeks. Be right back. Stay tuned. You might win you some cash today. I don't know. I guess you don't want me to say that. But, be smart when you bet, okay? See you in 3 minutes. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dining service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision. Faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, that comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From Cutting and Equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can. At the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And good morning, Savannah, Georgia. Good morning, the Low Country. It's the coach, Karl DeMasi, live on the Soundgarden Stage with the sun beaming down on me. It's 55 degrees, but that sun, I had to take my jacket off. And you know who I'm rooting for today? Let me turn a little sideways. There we go. I can block the sun with my small body. But anyway, it's a lot of fun here at the Coach's Corner. It's always a great morning to talk local sports, and this has been one of my favorite parts of the show all season long. This is where we talk college football. This is where the man himself, the prognosticator, Stephen Elmo Weeks, comes on and gives us his 5 picks. The guy's 25-20, but really, I love when he comes on because he's a Georgia Bulldog alum. He's a Georgia Bulldog fan, and he's going to break down the SEC game with us today right now. So joining me on the Coach's Corner hot seat, the man himself, Stephen Elmo Weeks. What's up, Stephen? Stephen, can you hear me?
Carl, I think you might have muted yourself by accident.
How about now? Am I back now?
I can't hear you, buddy.
All right. Lawrence, better if you're hearing. Can you hear me?
Can't hear you.
It says the microphone is not muted. Testing. 1, 2, 3, testing. Stephen, can you hear me?
Tell you what, I'm gonna leave the studio and join again and see if that fixes it.
Well, Lawrence hears both of us. Okay, I guess he can't hear me on his end there, Lawrence. But Stephen Elmo Weeks is going to come back with his picks. So we got a big slate of championship games going on. So it's going to be big time. Last night, USC choked against the Utes. And let's see, here he is again. Are you there, Stephen?
Hey, man, I can hear you now.
Yeah, Lawrence said he could hear both of us. So it was somewhere in that celestial world of the internet. We lost somebody somewhere.
Yep.
But how's it going?
Pretty good, man. Just we're getting fired up for USA versus the Netherlands, and then I'm going to coach a little Pee-wee basketball, and then get home in time to watch the Dogs. So it's another busy day.
All right. Well, we haven't seen each other or talked to each other in 2 weeks, but we did post your picks last week.
Yep.
You're 25 and 20. But most importantly, one of your picks today. Okay, let me get my little banner going here with the Stephen Elmo picks. Okay.
Yep.
You're taking LSU and 17.5 there, buddy. How does that happen?
Yeah, I don't think Georgia's going to lose. I think Georgia's a better team, but 17.5 is a lot. That's 2 touchdowns and a field goal. I don't think LSU is completely incompetent, and they'll be pretty fired up. Obviously, they didn't play very well last week. They lost to Texas A&M, but I think Georgia should win. Based on defense and being able to contain Jaden Daniels, but 17.5 is a lot of points in a championship environment. So yeah, I'd like LSU to stay within 14, maybe even 10, and probably put a little pressure on Stetson Bennett. I think that's pretty much been the formula. If you want to rattle him, is to put pressure on him, make him, and then if he'll run, if he'll use his feet and do things like that, then Georgia should be fine. But I remind everybody that Stetson's. It's funny, people refer to Stetson as a game manager. He's not a game manager at all, not in any way whatsoever. He's a gunslinger. He just doesn't have a very strong arm, and so he tries to throw balls into tight windows that probably shouldn't be thrown. And when they're caught, it's a big play. When they're not, it's usually an interception. So LSU's got some good defensive players. They should be able to deal with Georgia's offense. I don't know how LSU will score a whole lot. They rely on Jaden Daniels for virtually everything on offense, and we should be able to contain that. But yeah, I mean, I can see this being like a 24-14, 27-13 kind of game.
Even though Texas A&M ran all over LSU last week, you don't think the Bulldogs' running game is better than Texas A&M?
No, I actually don't. Bulldogs' running game is not very good at all, to be quite honest with you. I think the offensive line has struggled all year in spots. Short yardage situations, Georgia has been miserable. I think Kenny McIntosh is a great runner. Kendall Milton, I don't know. When he's healthy, he's a really good player. He's not healthy very often. I'm not a huge fan of Dejon Edwards. I don't see much from him. And of course, the freshman Branson, he hasn't played very much. But I don't consider Georgia to have a dynamic running game. Texas A&M actually has a heck of a running back named last name is Achane, who's really, really good. And I think LSU was probably a bit unfocused. Maybe they were looking ahead. Maybe they took some things for granted. Maybe that loss wakes them up a little bit. I think Brian Kelly's a heck of a football coach. I don't think he's going to come into a championship game unprepared. So I just think LSU is going to be up for the challenge in terms of keeping the game close. Georgia should win it with the defense and maybe a defensive touchdown or something like that. A scoop and score or interception for a touchdown by Keely Ringo or somebody. But I just don't see LSU laying down in this game. That that doesn't seem to make sense given the way they've played most of the season.
All right, game number 2, Kansas State giving them a 1.5 versus TCU.
Kansas State is the underdog here, so we're picking the upset. TCU is a small favorite. They're like a 1-point favorite. I think it's going to muddy the waters a little bit, but I feel like Kansas State kind of had them on the ropes when they played them earlier in the season, and then Adrian Martinez got hurt. The backup quarterback, Will Howard, came in and did a nice job, but fully healthy Kansas State, other than one just absolute flop against Tulane, has been a really good team. And TCU has played these – other than last week, they blew somebody out last week, but other than last week, they've played these nail-biters every week. And you just have to think at some point the ball bounces the other way. And I've watched Kansas State a lot this year. I like the way they do things. They've got a really good running back named Deuce Vaughn. Their defense causes a lot of turnovers. Adrian Martinez is quietly having just a sensational year. He's a transfer from Nebraska. He was cursed at Nebraska. No matter what he did, it went wrong. But he's had a really good year despite injuries. They've got a great backup quarterback named Will Howard. They've got some really fast receivers. So look, probably sort of a shootout in the Big 12 championship game. And I think I wouldn't be surprised at all if Kansas State goes ahead and wins that game.
Should be a good one. I'm looking forward to it. And then Ohio is getting 3 points versus Toledo, and you're taking Ohio, the Bobcats.
Like the Bobcats. The Bobcats are in Athens, Ohio. The Bulldogs are in Athens, Georgia. Bobcats have been quietly one of the hottest teams in the country for the past 7 or 8 weeks. They lost their quarterback, really good player named Kenny Rourke. But even without their quarterback, they brought in the backup quarterback. They blew somebody else out again last week. They run the ball well. Toledo also has quarterback troubles. Their quarterback is a kid who's had a great season, but he's all banged up. Not even sure he's going to be able to play. I think the step down to their backup quarterback is a bit more than the step down to Ohio's backup quarterback. So we're going to take Ohio plus the 3 points and see if they can upset Toledo in the I think they call it the Glass Bowl or something. I don't know. That's cool. It's Maction, baby.
All right. So we got Fresno State getting 3 points versus Boise State. They're not playing at Boise State, are they?
I don't know where they play this game, to be honest with you, and I do not plan to watch the game at all. But it's around the same time as the Georgia game, and I don't know that I've watched a Mountain West game all year. There's really no reason to. But Fresno State has a really good quarterback named Jake Haener. He'll play on Sundays. He'll be somebody's starting quarterback in the NFL in a couple of years. He was hurt for a lot of the year. When he came back, they started rolling again. Boise State, unbelievably, their starting quarterback, Hank Bachmeier, entered the transfer portal after the second game of the season, and they've been good. They're in the championship game of their league, but they haven't been what you're used to seeing out of Boise State. So I like Fresno State with Jake Haener to come out, put a lot of points up on the board. And, it's funny you say that. I really have no idea where they're playing this game. It might be in Boise.
It's at Boise on that lovely blue field that just killed me.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. Again, I would encourage you to watch the Georgia high school playoffs before you watch this game. But I just feel like Fresno State with that Haener kid, he's probably one of the few pros that'll be on the field today for either team. And I think he's a difference maker. The only time I've seen him is I've seen highlights of him, and he's not giant. He's not like big and tall, but man, he can sling it. And I feel like they know what they're doing in terms of they play each other a lot. They're familiar with each other. I feel like that's that's advantage for Fresno State. I think they get Boise State today.
All right, and then you got the Green Wave, Tulane, Toledo. Toledo, we already talked about. Tulane, 4-point favorites over UCF. Mickey Mouse U once again.
All right, dadgummit. Tulane, it's a stern talking to for Tulane. We already went through this one time with Tulane. They're at home. This is the conference championship. They're the number 1 overall seed. Disney U has looked terrible the last few weeks. They lost to Navy outright, and then they needed a last-second touchdown last week after being up 28-0, they almost lost to South Florida in the war on I-4. Tulane, I'm just telling you, get this thing done. Make it happen. Win the American Athletic Conference in front of your own fans. Send Willie Fritz out a winner. He was going to Georgia Tech. I don't know what he's doing now. Maybe he's coming back. Whatever it is you're going to do, let's beat Disney U in Tulane, and everybody go and have a couple hurricanes to celebrate.
Yeah, he's coming back to the Green Wave. He told me he's coming back, and I think when he said he was coming back, that's when Brent Key got the job. Yeah. Georgia Tech alumnus. He did a pretty good job.
That's such a Tech thing to do, by the way. Why would you do that? The guy Brent Key comes in, he beats North Carolina, he does all these things, he's competitive for half against Georgia, and then you go hire somebody else. That's like textbook Georgia Tech 101. Just being so clueless about athletics. I'm glad to see Brent Key got the job. I watched the interview that he did after they beat North Carolina, and the emotion in his voice, and clearly he has an allegiance to that program, that school. I'm glad that they got the right guy despite their best efforts to screw it up.
All right, quickly. Last night, going into the fourth quarter, great game. USC against the Utah Utes, and then the bottom falls out for USC. They're gone. Who's your fourth team?
Yeah, so that USC team looked a whole lot like what Oklahoma used to look like when they got into the college football playoff. You can't block anybody. You can't tackle anybody. And the other team runs the ball at will. I was surprised, to be honest with you. I really felt like that's what Notre Dame was going to do, is run the ball all through them. Notre Dame, who oddly their quarterback just entered the transfer portal for no apparent reason. I don't know who that kid thinks is going to want to pick him up to throw 4 picks. But so I was surprised that Southern California lost to Utah. And I guess the fourth team now, you're going to have Ohio State is a given. The real issue becomes, what if TCU loses? Now, I've talked to some friends of mine who think it doesn't matter. Even if TCU loses, they're going to be in the college football playoff. I don't think so. I really don't. I think the shadow of the elephant looms very, very large. And I think if TCU loses today, I think Alabama is going to be the fourth team. I think it'll be Ohio State, Alabama, Georgia, and Michigan. I don't think if Georgia loses, they're in. It doesn't matter. If Michigan loses, I think they're still in. I don't think that matters. Although it would be, I can't imagine a scenario in which Purdue would beat Michigan. But I think if TCU loses to a 3-loss Kansas State team, I don't think that's going to work out, because TCU's had all those games against teams with like 7-5 records where they nearly lost and all that. I think the shadow of the elephant is hanging over everybody as these championship games are played. So if TCU wins, it'll be Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and TCU. If TCU loses, I think it's going to be Georgia, Michigan, Ohio State, and Alabama. Look, man, you've watched Alabama. I've watched Alabama. There's nobody that thinks that Alabama's not good, right? Like, if Alabama gets in, they might win. They might win the college football playoff because they're really, really, really good. Just like Ohio State, if Ohio State gets in, there's a chance they're going to win because they're really, really, really good. The flip side of that is TCU has no chance of winning the college football playoff. No matter who they play, they're going to get blown out. They're going to get either Georgia or Michigan is going to blow TCU out. And I mean, it's going to be like Georgia and Cincinnati last year. There'll be a couple quarters that are competitive, and then ultimately it'll be a pretty big margin of victory. So I think that's how the committee thinks, is who has a chance to actually compete. And Alabama, there's no question about it, would have a chance to actually compete with the other 3 teams in the playoff. So.
All right.
That's the way it plays.
We got some comments for you. First, Lawrence Bennett, the producer. LSU 24, Georgia 21.
Shocking. Lawrence has never picked against Georgia before. I don't think LSU is going to upset Georgia. And the reason I think that is all football based. I don't think LSU can block Georgia for very long, which means that Jaden Daniels doesn't have time, and we have enough athletes. Georgia has enough athletes to chase him down, whereas against some teams, when he scrambles, he'll get 25 yards. Against us, it'll be 7 yards, 8 yards, and then he'll take a massive hit from someone.
All right.
No, I don't think that's going to happen.
Don't hang up because we got you. Do you know a Chip Chambers?
Yes, I do. I know my friend, my very good friend, Jack's golf coach, Chip Chambers.
There you go. UGA has trouble with running quarterbacks. Can the Dogs defense control that LSU Tiger?
I think they can, but I don't think it has anything to do with him. I think it's because their offensive line is not going to be able to block Georgia. He's really good. He also, though, you got to remember, Jaden Daniels guy came from Arizona State, does not like to get hit. He really does not like to get hit. That dude will run out of bounds at the drop of a hat. I mean, if he gets anywhere near the hash mark, he's running out of bounds. He's not going to take a big hit. And once he does get hit a few times, he gets pretty skittish in the pocket. He starts taking off early. He starts flinging it out of bounds. Doesn't have a high completion percentage. Has a big arm. He can throw bombs, and he's got Keon Butte, who's a great receiver, and that dude can fly. So if you let him get past you, Daniels will hit him for a big one. They don't run the ball really well. We know they don't run the ball really well. Kirby's arguably the best defensive mind in football right now. Yeah, I think we'll have a plan to contain Jaden Daniels. They'll hit some big plays. Butte will hit some big plays. Daniels will hit a couple runs. But I just don't see over the course of a 60-minute game how Daniels, can be productive when so much is on him, and we know that. We know they don't have anything else. There's no plan B for LSU. It's Jaden Daniels throwing it, Jaden Daniels running it, and if he gets stopped, you stop LSU.
All right. Here's his next comment. Tennessee and Clemson will play in the What Just Happened Bowl. Go Gamecocks.
Yeah, Chip is a big Gamecock fan, and he and I share that. I got my master's degree at the University of South Carolina, so I loved it when South Carolina upset Tennessee, and I loved it even more when they upset Clemson. What a great way to finish for Shane Beamer. He got like a lifetime extension to coach at South Carolina. Yeah, Clemson and Tennessee would be a great game between two teams that obviously didn't quite. Although Clemson can still win the ACC championship today, which it's not it's not the ultimate goal, but they can still win the ACC championship. Speaking of what just happened, North Carolina. I know my buddy Ty Stone is all over me about this, but what happened? What happened? Just rolling, and you drop 2, you lose to not the backup quarterback. You lose to the scout team quarterback from NC State, who just torched North Carolina last week. The younger brother of Ryan Finley, I can't remember the boy's name. He literally looked like a BC cadet. He was a little tiny fella out there slinging it. And so what happened in North Carolina? I think that's so unfortunate. So Clemson can still hang a banner this year, and I think they'll take pride in doing that. They'll probably go out and beat up on North Carolina. But that is Tennessee without Hendon Hooker. Yeah, they're not gonna scare too many people, I don't think.
All right, last comment by your buddy from Chip.
Yeah.
Watch Michigan take the gas and fall out of the college football playoff, a la the other USC.
I think a lot of people want that. I just don't think Purdue's good enough to do it. If it was another team, maybe. I don't know, maybe Minnesota or somebody with some more athletes. I just don't think Purdue has the dudes. I think I was incredibly impressed with Michigan last week, even without Blake Corum. Right. Man, they just have dudes everywhere. They're just everywhere. They're big and fast, and guys come off the bench and they're just as big and fast as the other guys. And when you're pushing around, when your offensive line is pushing around Ohio State like that, that's actually pretty scary. I mean, they were moving Ohio State in the second half, like getting 7-8 yards every time they carried the ball. They didn't even have to throw the ball. And I think they're going to probably do the same thing against Purdue. There's probably a little hangover there. Maybe Purdue hangs around. Aiden O'Connell is a really, really good quarterback, and they've got a couple good receivers. Maybe they'll hit a couple big plays or something, but there's no way they can stop Michigan's running game. I mean, Michigan ultimately in the third and fourth quarter will just, kind of scoot them out of the way and run up the field.
All right, last comment, and this is why Lawrence Bennett is picking LSU.
Okay.
Class of '88 from LSU, Lawrence Bennett.
Well, good for you. I'm glad. It's a great school. I've got relatives, got cousins who went to LSU. Love, it's a great environment, great place. If this was a night game in Death Valley, I can tell you that it would be a whole different thing. But you're in the Dogs home away from home in the Mercedes-Benz, and I don't know. LSU travels. There'll be plenty of purple and gold. It'll be a heck of a scene up there. With 4 kids and trying to coach and do all that stuff, we don't go to as many games as we used to. But that's going to be a heck of a scene up there. There's a case to be made. And look, I'm not casting aspersions on anybody going to the playoff or whatever. There's a case to be made that this will be the hardest game that Georgia has left on the schedule. LSU's really good. I know people are like, well, they lost to Texas A&M. I don't know, man. It's hard to keep a group of 18 to 22-year-olds focused and paying attention, and they were so sloppy against A&M. I don't think they're going to play like that today. I really don't. They'll be buttoned up. They'll be ready to go. Coach Kelly have them tuned up, and I think they'll give Georgia all they want.
All right, buddy. I know you got a busy day. You got to go watch USA, and
That's cool, man. USA has a huge chance today to beat them. I do not think. I think that if you're not doing anything in 15 minutes or 10 minutes or whatever, watch USA versus Netherlands. I just read that the USA versus England game had 20 million people watching it.
Wow.
That is incredible.
Yes.
Side note, Michigan and Ohio State was the most watched college football game since 2011, 17.5 million people.
Wow.
And it spiked up to 19.6 million. So, but this USA-Netherlands game, they're expecting 25 million people will watch this game. And I think the USA has a chance. It's an outside chance. Netherlands more experienced, but man, USA is fun to watch. This Pulisic kid, man, he's the real thing. He's the face of USA soccer for a long time. Let's go, man. USA.
Your friend had to get one more comment in. After today, someone will need to call Carol Baskin. All them dead tigers at Mississippi.
Well, I hope he's right. Yeah, there'll be an investigation into animal abuse. Hopefully, yeah, that's good. That's a good one, Chipper.
All right, we'll end on that note. As always, you take it out of here. Recap your picks quick, and we're out of here.
So we're going to go with LSU plus 7.5 in the SEC championship game versus Georgia. Kansas State plus 1.5 versus TCU in the Big 12 championship. We're going to go with the Ohio Bobcats plus 3 against Toledo in the MAC championship. Fresno State plus 3 against Boise State in the Mountain West championship. And Tulane, you better get it done, Green Wave, minus 4 versus Disney U in New Orleans in the American Athletic Conference Championship.
All right, buddy, have a great weekend. I'll talk to you during the weekend. As always, go Dogs.
Go USA, go Dogs.
See you later. I mean, he loves what he does. He does what he does. He does a good job with it. Now, Saber Solutions, and he does a great job with it. Now he comes on here and makes his pick 25-20. Stephen Elmo Weeks, the prognosticator of college football picks on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. I'll be back in 3 minutes. Hopefully my guests will tune in. Remember, USA starts at 10:15. And Coach's Corner is getting packed right now. I might get the boot. We'll see. I hope Gavin tunes in really quick. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia. Because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why. There's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991 and is always open for dine-in service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, it comes in uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room. If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
And welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report live on the Coach's Corner Soundgarden Stage. It's December 3rd, 2022. The USA is on inside. Coach's Corner is packed already. They're watching it. I just lost Gavin Stewart. Where did Gavin go? I just lost my man, Gavin Stewart, my next guest. But anyway, yeah, the place is packed. I might get kicked off the Soundgarden Stage. I was hoping to finish this up maybe with Gavin. Let's see if he can link back in here. No message on. There he is. He's back in here. So anyway, Gavin Stewart, former Benedictine Cadet, okay, former Ashley Deering Award winner, now making a splash up there in the ATL for Georgia Tech. He's doing a great job. I mean, he was the ACC Specialist of the Week for his 4 kicks against Pittsburgh. He was 12 for 12 until the last kick was botched, but he got a foot on it, so he gets credit with a miss. But he's having a phenomenal career up at Georgia Tech, like his brother Brad Stewart did that, or has done. He's not doing it now. He's doing what Brad was doing. But anyway, let me get this going before I get kicked off the stage. This week's Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete, former Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic Athlete, Mr. Stewart himself, Gavin Stewart, on the Coach's Corner hot seat. Hey, Gavin, what's up?
Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, it's always great talking to former players and kids like you, and you're making a splash up there at Georgia Tech, but phenomenal job, and congratulations. You had a phenomenal season, and believe it or not, we know there are a lot of Georgia fans around, but everybody was following you at Georgia Tech.
Oh, yeah. No, it was an awesome season. I mean, you just got to thank the whole team as well, offense, defense, all sides of the ball. And after the whole coaching change and everything happened, we all kind of had to buy in and realize all we had was each other, and I feel like that was definitely a big part of our success. But yeah, it was awesome. I know it's always the Georgia fans in Savannah. There's not enough Tech fans. We need to bring more down there.
Well, did you ever think that you were going to be a Georgia Tech Yellow Jacket growing up?
I don't know, honestly. I never really knew. So
I mean,
Worked
your
out.
brother led the way. Brad had a great career up there. Now you're following him. What's this with this 80 numbers between you and your brother? I mean, you guys didn't wear that in high school.
Yeah, no. So, I mean, Brad was 11 and I was 14 in high school. So, basically, my freshman year, spring, I switched back to receiver after my freshman season as a kicker. I did both technically during the season, but switched solely back to receiver spring. And then they were like, all right, just pick a number on the roster. It has to be 80. So, picked 88, and now it's just kind of stuck with me. So,
Hey,
that's the story behind that.
It's good luck, right?
Yeah, no, I guess so. Definitely, for sure.
All right. And, way back when I had you on the show as the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic as a high school student, now you're a college student. So are you still following the good old cadets in the football program? Are you pretty impressed with Coach Britt's doing over there?
It's awesome. I mean, 2 years in a row. I mean, they won, was it 42-21 last night? Freaking, yeah, they're rolling right now. And, I mean, all you can do is just be happy and proud of him. I mean, Coach Britt has obviously done and all the coaching staff, I mean, they've all done a phenomenal job. And you just got to sit there as a former cadet, just be proud that that's what the kids are representing us. And, yeah, hopefully I can make the state game because last year I had two finals. Because
On a Saturday?
So last year was on Friday. And
That's right. You're right.
Yeah, I had a final exam, and I was super upset I couldn't go to it. But because it was in Atlanta at Georgia State, I'm pretty sure. But, yeah, hopefully I'll be able to make it there for this one this week. So, but, I mean, it's just awesome. Very happy for them. I mean, they deserve it. I mean, everyone knows all the BC kids work day and out all throughout the year, especially in the summer, and it just comes to show whenever season comes around.
Well, yeah, the man does a great job. I mean, 12 years there, 6 years in the semifinals, 3 state championships. I mean, it's just been phenomenal since Danny Britt got over there. And, even before Danny Britt got there, people knew about Benedictine Military School, just that they never won the state championship. I think he said last night in an interview, it took him 111 years to finally do it. You know that?
That's crazy.
Isn't it?
You put it that way, it's a little crazy.
Yeah, but everybody knows about the program. So, I mean, is it really about winning state championships or about a consistent, traditional, rich program? And I think that's what they got at Benedictine. And, I mean, look at you. You're what? This is your third year out of there, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep, this is my third year.
And you're still part of the brotherhood. So no matter whether you're still there or not there, that brotherhood is really, really strong.
Oh, yeah. I think that's just a lot of people don't understand that unless you do go to BC. It's just the continuous brotherhood, whether if it's, I mean, I was class of 2020. There could be someone from class of 1996, and like you're automatically friends. Like it's just the brotherhood you have within each other. You all walk the same halls and went about it the same way. So it's definitely something special. Just a lot of people may not realize.
All right, so let's talk about your career up there at Georgia Tech. I mean, 3 years. You won I mean, freshman year you kicked field goals. Last sophomore year, which is this is your redshirt sophomore year, you're back to being the number one kicker. What's been that? How has that worked? What's it been like for you to go through all this?
I mean, it's all kind of the same process every single day. I mean, the thing with kicking is it's all operation. It's like one of the things on the field that practically has to be perfect. I mean, you have 1.3 seconds from snap to hold the kick to get it perfected. And just kind of growing through the years is I had to kind of coach myself and teach myself how to kick as well, just because it was something I never really focused on too much in high school. So whenever I got to college, it was kind of like the next step for me to really learn how to be a kicker and learn the art to it, which is come to know it's actually really fun, and I really found the love for it. But just kind of over the 3 years, that freshman year, did field goals, last year did kickoffs, and it all honestly was all perfect for me just because it just gave me a lot of time to kind of perfect my craft and perfect the operation with the holder and the snapper as well. So just, yeah.
Oh, it's a big part of the team. And all, like you said, all the parts have to work right for you to kick that field goal and make it. So we were talking on the phone the other day, like the last kick, I mean, you got credit for a miss, but bad snap, hold it in, get it right. You touched it with your foot, you get counted as a miss. So everything's got to be perfect for that ball to make it through those uprights.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely does. I mean, Henry and Cade, they were our two long snappers this year, and I mean, they did a phenomenal job. And same with David Shanahan. He's the punter from Ireland. He did a great job too. I mean, things happen, but you just go back the next day and have to fix it up and go about it. So
if you're just tuning in, it's the Karl DeMasi Sports Report. We're at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic after the week. former Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic athlete way back when, phenomenal 3-sport athlete at Benedictine, Ashley Deering Award. And, like you just said, you played so many sports, you couldn't just concentrate on being a kicker. So my question to you, though, is being a football coach, and, high school football, it's different when you have a kicker. You don't push them off to the side. But is it true that you guys are off to the side? You got your own little club and you do your own little thing until it's time to work on those situations?
Yeah, so the specialists, we kind of have the life, I'll say that. All of our teammates always mess with us just because, we do what we need to do, but whenever it's kind of our off periods during practice, you may see us throwing the football a little bit or just messing around, doing whatnot, coming up with fun games to play just to keep us entertained. But the other part is other people don't realize is we go to the indoor whenever we practice the indoor, for instance, we get there an hour and a half early and we're doing our thing. So we have to do basically just for field space reasons. But yeah, no, it's definitely a little bit easier on the body than it was being a receiver doing kicking. But we have our fun, and some of the rumors you may hear about specialists are true, but it's just funny.
Well, I'll give you a quick one. Dallas Cowboy Stadium, Alltel Stadium. Dominic was a punter for Valdosta State, and they got to play there against San Alamo State or whatever. He said what they did is they went out early and see who kicked the jumbotron above the floor. So and I heard field goal kickers would line up. Sometimes they line up on the line and they try to kick it and hit the goalpost. You guys ever do that yet?
Yeah. So there's a bunch of different methods of madness, but yeah, you can definitely line up on the post just because that's your target and you just try to hit it every single time. But every kicker has their own little different thing. It's just very, very unique people.
All right, quickly, I know you probably being a former soccer guy yourself want to watch the USA Netherlands, but as far as the rigor and the academics at Georgia Tech are off the chain. And by the way, congratulations, all academic team, not just all ACC specialists a week. You're doing a great job. What's it like being at such a school that, academics is key. I think they put that above the athletics sometimes.
Yeah, definitely academics is. That was a big part of me coming here, and I know my brother and everything did too. But the degree that you walk out with is the most special part about Georgia Tech, and the rigor is definitely hard. I've maintained being able to get good grades, thankfully, but yeah, it's just a lot of hours at the library. I probably go to the library 10 plus hours a week, just reading, studying, doing case studies or whatnot. So yeah, and I graduate a year early too, just because I've taken so many classes. So I actually graduate this May. So then next season or start of fall, I'm going to be starting my master's in business analytics. So yeah, the rigor is definitely true, what everybody tells you, but it also ties back to just kind of from where you're from and the perspective of BC. I think BC did a really good job helping just kind of to prepare for the rigor. The study habits I definitely keep on that I've learned all throughout BC and stuff, and just time management's the biggest thing, just because, especially when you get to college, you may have 2 classes that day, but you have the whole day. You may have practice for 5 hours in the morning, and then 2 classes, then you can either go home and sleep and do nothing, or you go to the library and get your stuff done. But yeah, it's definitely true about Georgia Tech. It's definitely hard.
Well, yeah, definitely. Once you get out of high school and you're not home with mom and dad, and you're all on your own, and you got to find that time management. And then when you got a coach that's, bearing down on all you guys, it's pretty intense. So quickly, Brent Key seems like a great guy. 21st head coach at Georgia Tech, a Georgia Tech alum. What's special about having that guy as your head coach now?
So yeah, no, Coach Key's awesome. He's been at Tech since I got here. He was the O-line coach, of course, I think everybody knows. But, he's a great guy, really loves the team, and he knows what it takes to be a Tech man. I think he voices that opinion very well. He was a player at Georgia Tech. He played on the flats, worked out, did the same workouts, had to go to class. He understands how hard the curriculum is as well. So I feel like having the standpoint of the player being a former player being a coach really helps him buy into it and helps the players kind of connect too. Because if he just tells us about his experiences and maybe that's a learning point for us, because he went through it. So it definitely would work for us. But he's a great coach. I'm really excited to see how everything's going to change and forward going into the spring and into the season. I think we're all very excited just to see what change happens and how we can be successful next year. So.
Well, I'm looking forward to watching you again. And, hey, you get your grad school paid for now. That's pretty special, too. Just keep on kicking that pigskin. You never know what could happen, right?
Yeah, you never know. I mean, that's always the end goal. So.
All right. Well, keep up the great work. Glad you can make it. I'm telling you right now, my daughter went to Georgia. That's why, I'm a Georgia fan. And, I'll be honest with you. You play him every year. Notre Dame is my team because that's all we had in New York. But the Notre Dame Georgia Tech was always a big game, and I would follow Georgia Tech even when they weren't playing Notre Dame. It's just been something special about, and then believe it or not, moving down here and being so close to it. It's just that campus is unbelievable. So I don't know if people know that's the oldest on-campus stadium in the United States, but I don't know how many people know that.
Yeah, no, it's actually pretty cool. So there's this video you can watch on YouTube. It kind of explains it. So the old football field, like the stands for it, is still under our stadium. So our stadium, I think it's on the west side. It's like it has the bleachers underneath. Then we built our stadium on top of those bleachers. It's pretty cool. Like you can go up under the stadium. It's for storage now, but it's still like pretty cool, unique thing. Knowing that way back then, that's where all the fans used to sit and stuff like that. But yeah, Georgia Tech's definitely a very historical place, especially in the football realm.
Well, Gavin, you're doing a great job. We're proud of you down here in the SAV. Keep it up. And, I know you're going to be out there next Saturday go Cadets instead of Cadets. I don't know why you guys go Cadets, but keep up the great work. Excuse me?
I don't know either, actually.
That's something we got to find out. We know about the bleachers under the stadium. Why do they call them Cadets instead of Cadets? I don't know.
Maybe we'll figure that out one day. But I just want to say thank you, Coach DeMasi. Of course, love being on here. And, just thank you for the opportunity to come on here.
I was upset you didn't get a chance to kick a field goal last week.
I was too. I thought we were going to hit one before the end of the half, but it was, I think it was like a 59, so it was a little bit further, and there was too much time on the clock that I was going to run down. But, yeah, I wish I did too, but we got some extra points.
I know so far in your career, your 40-yard field goal is your longest. What's your in practice, what's the longest you've hit?
So in practice, off of sticks, which is not live operation, I hit a 64 last year. Then
Nice.
Live operation, I don't even know. Probably like 61 if I had to guess live. But we try not to go back just because the thing about kicking too, don't want to start on another subject, is you always want to stay at 85% just because that's where you're able to swing away. And it's just a very big preaching in the kicking world. And try not to go back too far just because if you start swinging hard as you can, yourself out of rhythm, then you're going to be off and the whole thing trickles down. So, but well,
keep up the great work, and I'll see you during the holidays, and enjoy next Saturday. I got a game or I'd be up there. I tell you right now, I got to get to one of those games, but I got to coach basketball, so I won't be up there. But once again, love following you. Keep in touch, and as they say now, go Yellow Jackets.
Go Jackets, baby. Have a good one.
You got it. Thanks, Gavin. Have a good one. Have a good holiday, too.
Oh, yeah, you as well. Bye.
Bye. I mean, it's so much fun bringing back these guys that, they do so much. Daquan Dallas is at Georgia Tech also, offensive lineman. Richmond Hill, Fusel is there, too. So we got a lot of Savannah flavor there on that Georgia Tech roster as we do on the Georgia roster. All right, I'll be back in 3 minutes. I'm going to wrap it up quickly. I'm going to post the interview that I did with Tim Guidera on my website due to the fact that it's a packed house in there, and I know they want to get these 9 big TVs going with that USA game. So stay tuned. 3 minutes. I'll be right back. Give you my quick calls corner. No videos, and go USA. You're watching the Karl DeMasi Sports Report right here on the Coach's Corner Sports Network. All the time. That's Coach's Corner in Thunderbolt, Georgia, because Coach's Corner has been voted the best in Savannah for over 20 years running. It's no wonder why there's always sports, live music in the Soundgarden, and delicious and abundance of pub food. No matter what the season, there's always a reason to check out Coach's Corner. Pick your favorite sport, pick your favorite team, and pick your favorite TV, because Coach's is your place to be. Coach's Corner has been Savannah strong since 1991, is always open for dine-in service for lunch and dinner. Remember, Coach's Corner still has takeout service. Join John Henderson and the crew for the best burgers, wings, and now pizza too. You can place your order by calling Coach's Corner at 912-352-2933. That's right, remember that number, 912-352-2933. So make your next pit stop at Coach's Corner. And as always, make it a night to remember at Coach's. At Calvary Day School, we want our students to be fully equipped and on the cutting edge of academics, making a difference in our world. Your child will grow academically, physically, socially, and spiritually. At Calvary, it is so good to say we are one school with one mission and one vision: faith, academics, excellence, and building champions through Christ. Calvary Day School, we consider it a privilege to meet with your family personally. Call Philip Lee, Director of Admissions, at 351-2299. That's 351-2299.
For over half a century, when it comes to uniforms, sporting goods, or trophies, Thompson's got you covered. From cleats to caps and the best prices on the biggest brands, Under Armour, Adidas, and more. From baseball to soccer, volleyball to softball, and yes, football too. Every season starts at Thompson Sports Shop. From cutting and equipped at Thompson Sports Shop's new location, 6606 Abercorn Street, Suite 102 in Savannah. Open Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. and seasonal on Saturdays. At locally owned Thompson Sporting Goods and Trophies, come see where everyone is a winner.
You still want some real New York Italian food? Bada bing, bada boom. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering is open at 7630 Skidaway Road, Tuesday through Saturday from 7 a.m. to 3 p.m., serving breakfast and lunch right here in Savannah, Georgia. Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering has been serving the public for over 3 years. Now, if you want Rocky's New York Deli and Italian Catering goods delivered to your door, go online to SavannahTakeout.com or DoorDash.com, or just pick up the phone and call 912-354-2914. That's right, 912-354-2914. Kabish, and remember, we ain't New York style. We are New York at Rocky's New York Deli and Italian.
Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic. Your back hurts, another body part hurts all the time. It makes you mad. The pain drives you crazy. You just want to pick something up and throw it across the room? If you can, at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic, you get complete chiropractic care and pain relief to help you move better, have a less painful life, and of course, achieve a healthier lifestyle. The Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic is now located at 2 locations in Savannah, Georgia, at 329 Eisenhower Drive and in Pooler at 114 Canal Street, Suite 603. So visit Dr. Bart Wetherington at the Wetherington Chiropractic Clinic for all your chiropractic needs.
Okay, I'm going to wrap this up quick. Welcome back to the Karl DeMasi Sports Report, live here on the Soundgarden Stage, which I'm going to turn that into the USA soccer game. Packed house and Coach's Corner, come on down. They got the game on the TVs. There's over 100 TVs. They got the games going. You want to come in and watch it. All right, quickly, Karl's Corner. No videos today because I want to get out of here. It's a packed house now. I want them to come out here and watch the game. And I'll put Tim Geider's take on Atlanta Braves baseball and Georgia football in a couple of minutes after I get out of here. But Georgia Tech. Hiring Brent Key. Class move. You got it. Went there. You got a guy that lives, eats, breathes Yellow Jacket football. What a way to go. He's done a great job. He's trying to bring that he's going to try to bring that program back to be respectful, even though I think it's respectful no matter what, because what those kids go through academically, as you heard with Gavin Stewart, is phenomenal. So great job, Georgia Tech. I'm behind you all the way, and just a great move. All right, as they say every week, please say a prayer for all those people in the Ukraine. Please say a prayer for what's going on in this crazy world that we live in here in the United States. Hopefully, your Thanksgiving was great. You had a great time with your family. Your health is, you're thankful for your health. You're thankful for your family. Just a great job overall last weekend with my family, and that's what it was all about. So, as I say, always, whatever you're doing today, tomorrow, always sit at the park until I speak to you next week. May it be your best week ever. I'm out of here. God bless. God bless the USA. Go USA against Netherlands. I'll talk to you next week. Oh, don't forget, next Friday, 12 noon, lunch, pregame party with the sports reporter, Travis Jadon. Come by and say hello. And then at 4 o'clock, 3:30 on Saturday, right here, you can watch Benedictine going for their state championship, back-to-back championship against Cedartown. Talk to you later. Let me get out of here.